Just moments ago, Joe Biden stated that our supporters are garbage. He's talking about the Border Patrol. He's talking about nurses. He's talking about teachers. He's talking about everyday Americans who love their country.
I like the idea that, like, oh, if you're a nurse or if you're a Border Patrol guy or if you're like a military veteran, like, you can't have garbage opinions. And they don't even believe this idea because they say that about liberals all the time. Like, what is this line, dude? Oh my God, I can't believe he said fathers of three lovely young daughters who have paid their taxes on time are garbage for believing in the garbage things that Donald Trump is saying. And like, oh, I can't believe they called us garbage. It's just such a, I hate this. I hate it so much. Like, oh, I'm so mad. You're not mad.
Joe Biden finally said what he and Kamala really think of our supporters. He called them garbage. And they mean it. Even though, without question, my supporters are far higher quality than Crooked Joe or Lying Kamala.
I'm convinced this isn't a big deal because Trump is the biggest believer that his supporters are garbage. I know, but only he gets to say that. You know what I mean? He literally go to Detroit and be like, Detroit is a piece of shit. You guys live in filth. You're shitty people. Vote for me now. And they'll be like, yes, Mr. President. Hell yeah. I'd love to vote for you. They'll be like, get your fat husband off the couch and vote for me, Deborah. And people will be like, hell yeah, I'm fat. I'm fat as I'm going to die tomorrow, sir. But I hope I don't die so I can vote for you. I'm trying to find an old tweet about it, but the Republicans have the gift of saying whatever they want without getting any flack. Philosophically, they are free. I know. It's very annoying that the standards set for Democrats and Republicans are so different. They are not even on the same planet, okay? God forbid a Democrat speaks even a little bit out of turn, and every single person will be like, what the f***? How dare they? How dare they? It is so fucking frustrating. It is so unimaginably frustrating. Republicans get away with every kind of filth. They get away with saying anything they want to say forever. The standards are always different. For people who want a better future, for people who want a better tomorrow, if you advocate for those things, you are placed on an insane standard. Oftentimes, not even your own personal standards. You are supposed to abide by the standards that your enemy sets for you. Democrats need to... This is such a funny article. Donald Trump's campaign message, final campaign message, I'm not Hitler. This I'm not Hitler t-shirt I'm wearing is bringing up a lot more questions that is answered by my t-shirt.
Meanwhile, before the shirt talk, you heard Lawrence talking about it. The White House now...
Dude, they're loving it, dude. It's the most minor sentiment, and it is so appropriate, and it's so valid. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to say it's appropriate. I think it's inappropriate in the opposite direction. It's not enough, okay? Garbage is not enough to describe Trump's policies, Trump's attitude, Trump's hatred. It's not enough. You're underselling it. And they are just going nutty mode over it. They're like, oh, thank God we caught it. But if you want to understand the double standards in this circumstance, if you want to understand how this shit works, recognize that Republicans will get hit on for doing like the worst unimaginable thing possible. And they'll turn around and be like, well, Democrats do it too. And these fucking dumbass Democrats will cave immediately. It is incredibly frustrating to watch this unfold again and again and again and again. It is such an obvious fucking cynical deployment of know you like a child. This lady summed up the garbage outrage perfectly.
I want you to sit with this feeling. I want you to sit with this feeling of being called garbage.
80 plus million people being called garbage by the sitting president, a comedian who was speaking at a rally significantly different.
Garbage. One time.
Here's the easiest, simplest solution to this. Don't fucking advocate for garbage. Don't believe in garbage policies. Don't believe in hurting other people. It's that simple. If you are primed, tuned, excited about the prospect of mass deportations, you're garbage, you're bad, you're a bad person. A super simple way to not be, to not have half the fucking country or more than half the country see you as that is to say, I'm not on board with this. I think this is unconscionable. I am not voting for Donald Trump. That's it. That's it. It's that easy. I swear to fucking God, it is that easy.
By a sitting president. I want you to sit with this feeling because maybe you will feel just a crumb a crumb of how millions and millions of people in this country have felt over the course of 9 years having to deal with Donald Trump. Trump's supporters set the standard on how people should react when a politician says something bad. You guys set that standard. You set that standard when for 9 years you allowed Donald Trump to say the most horrific things about marginalized groups, calling Mexicans rapists and murderers, saying that the LGBTQIA community harms children, that Muslims...
You rage baited early classic. What? To this clip? No. What? No, she's right. I read the reply to her that she is replying back to with this TikTok. I'm agreeing with the clip. I think sometimes you guys see like a blonde woman and you insta assume that it's like a Trump supporter or something. I did not imply that at all.
Terrorists and need to be banned from the country. That he couldn't have possibly sexually assaulted E. Jean Carroll because she wasn't his type. He's called people like me a lunatic for 9 years, a liberal lunatic. And not one of his supporters have ever come out to call him out on it. They clapped for it. They cheered for it.
It's funny because like people have called him out on some of this stuff and then they're no longer a part of the in-group. That's the other thing. And like Kamala Harris is trying to pick at all of those people that are like, I don't know if I want to be on board with this. You can't do that while simultaneously normalizing Trump. You have to make these people distance themselves from Donald Trump. And that's why the weird narrative was so good. Okay. Donald Trump and his cult-like followers are fucking weird. You don't want to be like them. That's why you don't want to vote for them. You want to vote for me instead, or you want to just stay at home and you don't want to vote for Donald Trump. That's the best way to do this, because it also deflates like the powerful way that they try to present themselves as. And there are scary aspects of the Trump rhetoric, of course. Mass deportations is fucking terrifying. It's objectively fascist shit. Sicking the military on what you perceive as enemies from within is terrifying shit. And on those issues, you have to be serious. But on others, like the constant fucking flow of hatred, trying to prime an audience, trying to tune an audience to fucking hate trans people for no reason whatsoever, that is weird. That's weak. That's weak shit. You're doing this because you're weak. They're doing that. The Republicans are doing that because they're weak people. They're only a weak person sees someone that is in a shittier circumstance than they are and chooses to pounce on them. I think you're fundamentally wrong on this. Biden demonized an entire group of people is just like anti-white racism. Good one.
They egged him on. No one has held him accountable for 9 years. So if you're offended this one time, you want to clutch your pearl this one time, but you also fail to realize you guys set the standard over how I should react to it, right? So let's see. Oh, you're taking it out of context. Oh, it was just a joke. Oh, Biden's just off the cuff, right? You know how Biden is. He just says things. He's funny. He tells it like it is. 9 fucking years. Sit with it. One time.
Kamala Harris put a man on every single women's sports team in this country. It will happen the minute she signed into office.
I got a question for you, America. If Kamala Harris is the candidate that supports they, them, who's gonna support USA?
Last week, a Facebook poll indicated that 10 gabillion immigrants finally talked about communism, aka the Kamala Harris ticket. On day 1 in office, Kamala Harris has vowed to sign communism into the Constitution and revoke free speech, but only if you're conservative and or religious, which is why Bibles are mandated in classrooms. America, I am pained to announce that a Facebook poll indicated 10 quadrillion immigrants per public school have been imported in the last 72 hours. America, the choice is yours. Who are you gonna pick?
Low gas prices, secure border. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah, baby. That's right. It's a binary choice. Secure our border. Secure our border.